Hey everybody, absolutely stunning news over here this week. We have a video version of this week's episode available on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/lateandnight. Go over there, sign up at any tier, and you'll have access to it. Once again, that's patreon.com/lateandnight. Now, enjoy the show.
Brian, do you do any skincare?
Not too much, honestly. I am blessed. I have good skin that doesn't require much care. You know, I don't even wash my face regularly.
Whoa.
I mean, just like normal shower washing where I get it. Look, when I get in the shower, I'm on a mission to get in everywhere. And my face receives a cursory covering, but I'm usually more focused further afield.
Crevices, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've got some that other people don't know about. The answer might surprise you.
It's a Lovecraftian portal to the void hidden somewhere, and the answer might surprise you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I do call my balls the old ones.
Very good.
Boom.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be that some people think that simply allowing the water to cascade down their body is sufficient. It's not.
It's not.
It is
no,
not.
you do need to wash. But I don't, skincare, I'll put lotions on when I'm dry and feeling ashy. But beyond that, not too much. And I'm very lucky. I've, apart from some mild pimplage as a teenager, I've kind of always had decent skin. My father had giant fucking craters in his face. My father had, bad acne as a kid, and it showed on his face.
It just skipped you.
I got my mom's skin. She always had good skin. What about you, Leighton? I get the sense that you've been thinking about this.
Oh yeah, just skincare is a thing that I have to force myself to do that I only do when I'm more functional. But it's a nice little ritual to put the lotion on its skin. And I enjoy my goos. And also, as a big makeup person, since I was a teenager...
Oh, you have to, right?
This is so stupid. I didn't realize you should do skincare before you do your makeup, because then it sits on your skin. So it sits on your skin better. I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to do makeup, isn't that going to ruin all of the skincare stuff I just did? No, you dumbass. So... I usually, especially for this show, I usually just do eyes and brows, but I've just been doing foundation and blush more just because it's it doesn't look like cakey shit when you take care of your skin first.
But you also have to be careful about cleaning it off so it doesn't fuck up pores and stuff, right?
Yeah, I used to be really terrible about falling asleep with makeup on, but the feeling, especially of falling asleep in eyeshadow on top of everything else, it's just waking up with goos in your lashes, which is not fun.
I really hate the feeling of going to bed with lotion on. It's a dry winter night and you have to lotion up because you're going to be itchy otherwise. And then and your body kind of sticks to the sheets. I fucking hate that.
If the sheets are perfectly clean, that's nice. I've been tempted by those foot peels you can do where you put it on and then for a couple of weeks your skin is peeling really bad, and that just seems like a sensory nightmare to me. Oh, my skin is peeling in long strands into my socks. And also wet socks. But yeah, it's same with you can do it with the gloves too, where you put lotion in it and then you're supposed to sleep as you marinate.
Oh, so Rachel does that. Rachel has eczema, and she puts gloves on. And we need to do that for Audrey sometimes too.
Yeah. Sensory, bad. Do not enjoy. I also, another beauty hack I tried yesterday, because I don't go out ever. And so the few times that I do go out, it's a nice little treat to get fancy. And there's a hack that you can do to get heatless curls that involves putting a pair of leggings on top of your head.
Just to jump in real quick, that's usually the opposite. Normally they go on the bottom of your body, but this, you're saying you're putting them on your head. So I have to ask you, Leighton, is it opposite day? if you're putting, are you putting leggings on your head and shoes on your feet and a shirt on your legs?
It's a little headings. It's a little armings. You know, it's multi-purpose. So basically you hold them up and then like the crotch is at your forehead and you drape them back. And so you have like the legs and you wrap your hair around the leg. And then once it's done, you like put them around your head and tie it. And then you can put the waist of the leggings and pull it over like a bonnet.
Okay.
I had to leave before my hair was fully dry, but it worked. So thanks, TikTok, I guess.
That's great. And while you're describing getting fancy, describe your outfit. What is, as your generation says, Leighton, what was your fit? Which, by the way, took me a long time. I thought the first time I heard someone say that, which was years ago now, I didn't realize it was an abbreviation of outfit. I thought it was just like, how do your clothes fit kind of thing.
I
was
wore,
weird, but now I understand.
I wore exactly what I wore to Christmas Eve at your place.
I can't remember what you wore to Christmas Eve.
Yeah. It was just jeans and a long top and this jacket.
Okay.
With like, nice
that's right. I remember the
makeup
jacket.
and hair.
Yes.
Yeah. The jacket's iconic, so gotta stick with my brand.
Now, you were mentioning before we hit record here that you have a little story about your ride. You're on the couch. This is my late night show. And I'm looking at my cue cards and I say, now, it says here that on the ride back from an event last night, you had an interesting experience. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
And the audience goes, ha 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 ha.
Oh, yeah.
And I like flick my hair and, cross and uncross my heels in my $3,000 dress.
Yeah.
So I missed out on the record that you guys did yesterday because I was getting dinner with Mika Burton. And there was a chance that we were going to run into one of her acquaintances, who is someone that I've historically been incredibly normal about. And I simply will not disclose. I think if you've listened to recent episodes, you can probably guess.
It's exactly the person you're thinking of.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. It's exactly the person you're thinking of.
But I had a delightful dinner with Mika. It was so great to see her.
She's
and then
the
we
best.
went to a bar for a D&D thing that was, unbeknownst to me, a party, and we were packed in there like sardines, which God bless everyone there. It was fun. I was out after one drink because it made my tummy hurt, and I got a lift home, and
like a ride share lift, an LY.
Yes, an LY. I try ever since like the Lyft, Uber, it's no longer they come in 1 minute and it's super cheap. Like that heyday is gone. And so I try not to rely on it, especially late at night. It wasn't even that late. It was like 10 p.m. Anyway, the driver was a guy my age and was very chatty, and long story short, it turned into him hitting on me as I was desperately watching the GPS. And it's like, if you stray from this path a tiny bit, I'm going to claw your eyes out.
Describe hitting on you. What is hitting on you?
We were having a long conversation where he was asking me like what I do and everything, and
the best.
It came to the excellent question of, so are you in a relationship? And it was
nice.
No, I'm just chilling.
Why wouldn't you say yes to that?
I don't know. I should have. But my tummy hurt and I wanted to go home.
Going also, right?
Are you victim blaming me, Brian?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I deserve it. It was like that into... You have like a really dry and sarcastic sense of humor. It's like hilarious and like you're not even trying to do it. And I was just like, thank you. That's great. Please take me home. But I'm not going to say that this is where I live. Also, thanks.
Right. Just a random residential address in Los Angeles.
Yep. Of all the times that I have been hit on by Lyft drivers, which has been many, this was the least creepy one. So points
okay,
for
that's
that.
A win. What's the creepiest?
The creepiest was probably on the way back from getting my knife tattoo. So this was in the middle of the day. It was a much older guy and he was going for it, but like he was asking if I did drugs or like partied, and then went into like, oh, your boyfriend doesn't let you drink. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that shit. But I was like, getting a tattoo, you kind of get a little natural opioid high after that. And so I'm just like tattoo stoned and exhausted. Like, I don't have the fucking wherewithal to deal with this right now, you motherfucker.
So your boyfriend doesn't let you? Who would say that? That's so like.
Well, it's funny because that has been said to me multiple times.
What?
The other time was the doctor when I was in the hospital in Mexico dying of cholera.
Right. That one I remember, yeah.
Which was awesome. So I love existing. It's great. It's super cool. I would just like to get in a car and not, be hit on. That would be nice. Because it's not even flattering at this point. It's never really flattering. It's just like
It seems like just such a dumb idea because everything about it is not a sexy situation. Like,
no.
I've never understood this about hitting on anyone. Like, what are the odds that it's going to pay off? And most likely, it's just going to creep the other person out. I'm also the wrong person to talk about this because I have. What do they say? Do you know what game is, Layden? When they say someone's got game.
I'm familiar. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I don't have.
You're a gamer.
Generally speaking. I'm a gamer without game. Yeah, it's my support group. Gamers without game.
That's most of us.
I can think of one time when I was at a friend's party. This is many, many years ago, obviously. And I was talking to a girl and I gently asked for her number, a thing I had never done before, have never done since. Got a polite no thank you. And that's my entire story of the one time I sort of hit on somebody. And yet here I am, married. How did it happen? Nobody knows. It is a total mystery.
A polite no thank you is not something I mean, that's the classic thing, right? Of like, you kind of yes and it because you're deer in headlights. And I wish that historically I've had more wherewithal to like shut it down hard. But it's mostly like, I just want this interaction to be over. And if this will get you to shut up, then sure thing.
Right. Sorry, you're talking about right now?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, I also hit on strangers. That's just not a thing that I do. Same. I think the only time I ever got somebody's number was in line for... I saw this girl later at a John Mulaney show, but it was in line for like the SCAD Film Festival, and she had an eye patch and was really pretty. And I really wanted her number. There's not much to that story other than I got it, and the friend that I was with was like, that was so fucking smooth, and was like, great, that is the only time that's ever going to happen.
It's the only time it's happened since. Yeah.
Yep. I feel like it always happens most when I feel like a fucking rat. It's never when I, actually look nice.
Yeah, try to get gussied up, yeah.
Yeah, it was like in the Whole Foods parking lot getting my little coffee and was like inappropriate amount of time unshowered. This was like a couple of months ago, and a guy who almost backed into my car in the parking lot. I was like, hey, no big deal, not a problem. And he was like, oh yeah, sorry. You're super cute, by the way. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, sorry if that's weird. Sorry, I don't mean to, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. And I was like, no, it's good. Just surprising. Thanks.
Here's something I was thinking about the other day. I don't think I have ever been in a situation where I have, what's the right way of saying this? Tried to look sexy. Do you know what I mean? I have dressed up, but never with the goal of like, let's put it out there. Right. Well, if I say put it out there, I don't know out where. Like if I put it out there would fall.
Or what you were putting out.
Yeah, that's right. It's a total mystery. Yet I imagine people do get dressed, many people, much of the time, with the explicit goal of looking hot. Right. This must be a thing people do. Yet it is a thing I think I have never done.
That's fascinating.
And maybe this is due to a lack of self-confidence.
Also, there are like fewer things that men can do, in a socially accepted way.
True.
It's like, what, you can put some stuff on your hair, you can put on cologne.
Yeah.
That's
mesh shirt.
Limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the expectation for women is like, how much physical pain are you willing to inflict upon yourself for this?
Yes. But this is a thing you would say you have done. Like you have at some points in your life, like your goal is to look hot, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yes.
But it's also targeted too, right? Like there's always the thing of like, oh, you wear makeups for men. And it's like, no, I do it because it's fun and nice. And if I'm going somewhere, I feel more confident if I have taken a little self-care of like looking nice. It makes me feel better. It is not a sign, please hit on me. And so is also, if I'm making jokes, that's because I compulsively make them, not because I'm flirting with you, please stop. And I think that gets misinterpreted. But yeah, of course, like I'm hot. I will attempt to look hotter. It's more concentrated if you're like, you're going to be around somebody you like. Otherwise, it's kind of just like, whatever. But, historically, that's always the thing where it's like, aha, that person will be here. I've got to get it together, which has not happened in fucking forever. So, now it's just for me is a treat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost never dress up just in general.
Oh, me like crawling out of my sweatpants like, I have to wear jeans. Fuck.
I have spent the last couple days, I was traveling this past weekend. I'm going to be traveling again tomorrow. On Monday, I was like, you know what? I'm wearing pajama pants all day by choice. That's not a thing older earlier Brian, I guess, younger Brian, would have done. But
isn't it great?
It's pretty great.
Yeah. I've fully embraced the leggings and Uggs lifestyle, and I'm so cozy. Don't come at me because it's cozy as fuck. And some people like to be prepared for an emergency. I like to be prepared for a nap.
Well, on that note, everybody, this is Late Night with Brian Wecht. My name is Brian Wecht. Sitting across from me is Leighton Gray. Say hi, Leighton Gray.
Hi, I'm Leighton Gray, and I'd like a nap. Thanks.
And I'd like a nap. Now this is our last recording before I sojourn to the Great White North. That is Toronto, Canada, for a recording session with the fellas, with Twerp, with Dan, with Jim, with Jarek. The whole crew is going to be there. It's going to be a great time. But we're doing 2 recordings in a row, although just one for you, because as discussed, you couldn't be at the one yesterday. So you had an idea a while back, which is we should do something fun again, like the Enneagram we did last time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We could always do Family Fretted again. We have the theme song.
Remind me how that works.
We go on Ask Reddit and we read the title of the post and then we try to guess what the top comments are.
Oh, it has been a while. Segment Graveyard. I love it. Yes. We can go back. We can look at our theme songs and revisit some old favorites that we haven't gotten to in a while. I love the idea of doing Family Fretted again, but let me ask though, are there any other hot topic issues, Emmys, highs, lows, and woes, Golden Globes, snubs, and flubs, anything like this that you want to get into before we go to these old segments?
Very happy to see Succession sweep the Emmys. They deserve it. Kieran Culkin, Sarah Snook, Matthew McFadden, all of you, great, amazing. I spent a good bit of yesterday watching just Succession compilations, of which there are many. I did not realize the Emmys were happening until
I didn't
afterwards.
Either. Yeah, same, which is weird because I was aware the Golden Globes had happened. I just forgot they were like 2 days before the Emmys.
Yeah. I just don't pay attention to anything ever.
The Golden Globes is also what I call my testicles, in addition to the old ones.
Yeah.
So there's one more of those coming later in the episode, everybody. Rule of 3s, just so you know. There's one more.
All right, save it. It's like getting a sandwich card punched. You know what? That's sad. Right. Nobody does that anymore. It's like, here's a little card, and we'll punch it, and you get a free one.
Yes, but I gave up on them. I could, because I was like, I don't want to lug this fucking thing around to use once every 3 months. It
was
like
aspirational
on my end. Yes, that's very true.
I have to manufacture things to look forward to, and that was one of those things.
Yeah.
And even if they did do it now, they just do like one of the big stupid like umbrella tablet things where it's like register with
get 5 stars.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to do that. Don't make me install another app. I don't want to subscribe to another thing. All of the free apps that I like are going through the process of an enshittification where they all are either switching to subscription or are filled with ads now. Like my sleep timer has ads. Excuse me?
Oh, it sucks. Here's the app model I like, actually. If you're going to put, charge for stuff, you do like a one-time, a yearly fee, whatever, $2 a year or whatever, or just a one-time $10, you'll never pay this again thing.
Yes.
And that's what I've done a bunch of recently. Is there's some, I was using some apps and it was just like, here's the free version, but you can upgrade to pro. And one of the pro options was a reasonable, like 10, 11, whatever it was, dollars, lifetime fee. You'll never pay it again. Great. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And it's like the dumber ones. Like there's this great app for iPad that I genuinely really love called Magic Poser that lets you make a 3D scene, and they have a lot of like preset props and like body models so that you can pick poses for. And so you can set up a nice like little drawing reference, and it's really helpful for like lighting or just blocking something out. It was free for a while, and just recently they have multiple tiers of subscription, but I'm not paying $15 a month.
Oh my God.
To do this shit.
No,
that's what they want. This used to be free, and now a lot of the basic features are locked behind a paywall in perpetuity. Like, let's say I have this for 3 years, $15 a month. Like, at what point is it enough for you fucks?
Yep.
So.
Well, you know what they say, free games ain't free.
It's true. It's true. I have no aspirations to be a whale, folks at home. If you've never been on the back end of developing an app or whatever, you know that you make all of your money from 1% of users. And that's the way that works. And that is who you are targeting. It's really horrible and predatory to see that is the entire app market now. It's neat. Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, do you want to lead us in? Pick an old segment here, Layden. Lady's choice. Whatever, maybe the creepiest phrase in the English language.
There are like 2 old segments, right?
There's got to be more than that. There's What Are Your Subs, which is not really relevant for just the two of us, although we could talk about that. There's Family Fredit.
There's Spam-A-Lot.
Spam-A-Lot. We should do Spam-A-Lot. It's been a while since we've done Spam-A-Lot.
All right, great. Let's do Family Fredit first.
Great. I know you just said it, but as an intro, why don't you introduce this segment?
Yes. Coming at you live from Los Angeles, California, it's another episode of Family Fredit.
Family Fredit.
I don't even have the energy or gumption to keep up a game show host thing.
Oh, that's one of my dreams, by the way. One of my dreams is to host a real game show, not just Is It
You would
Nailed,
be great
by the way. Thank you. I think I would, actually. I'd like to, engage in playful banter with the contestants, be slightly dismissive of their abilities, like skeptical, but be genuinely pleased when they win,
Yeah. I bet we could make this happen for you. And you have like the really long, like Bob Barker type microphone.
A long mic. Oh, I really want a long mic. And that mic's been everywhere too.
Yeah.
Like that mic is not just a mic, if you know what I'm talking about.
That mic has explored some crevices. It has gone spelunking.
It gets clean hourly.
You hope.
Right. But yes, what kind of game show would you want to see me? Like, if you pick a classic game show, which one would I be the best at hosting?
It's not necessarily a classic one, but the first one that I think of that would be really, really funny is Deal or No Deal. You being like a Howie Mandel type? Because I could see you like, they open the case and you've eliminated $1 million and he's just like, ooh. But I feel like you would really delight in it. Like, I feel like you would be standing behind all of the girls, like, egging them on, like, this one's gonna ruin your credit score. You're fucked financially.
The other thing I would do all the time is be like, let's talk to the banker. And you call the banker and I'd be like, hey, how you doing? You okay? Yeah. Now, how's your day going? Oh, I don't know. No, we don't always need to talk about money. Now, why don't we talk about me for a minute? I want to hear about you, banker. We've been working together for so many years, and I feel like we don't devote enough time to you. So how did you get into banking, right? What's your
and the
favorite
audience
thing about
can't hear the
economics?
other side of the conversation.
That's exactly right.
You're
right.
lying on the floor doing slumber party legs where you're like kicking them back and forth. You're like playing with the coil on the rotary phone.
Yeah.
Just being like, so how's it going?
And on the last episode, we cut to the banker's booth and it's just a desiccated corpse. This guy has been dead for 6 years. There's nothing going on over there. I'm just making shit up constantly.
Oh, that would be so funny. And also if you're like actively talking shit to the banker, like this guy's blowing it big time.
Yeah, 100%.
You're doing great. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, I mean, he's about to walk out here financially ruined.
This is one of my favorite comedy bits is the pretending someone can't hear something they obviously can hear.
Yeah.
Oh, always funny.
Yeah, I guess semi-recently talking to Jory about like hacky comedy tropes that we love. That's one of them. Or maybe that wasn't even recently, and I was just going through and listening to our Jory episodes in my spare time just because it was like, oh, friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that was that recently. Oh, I do love that trope. Hua? Yeah. That's the other one I like.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, it's Family Reddit, so tell us how this works.
The way that this works is that we will go to the subreddit, the very popular subreddit, Ask Reddit, and we will look at the title of a post, and then we will attempt to guess what the top comments are. And because of the way that, Reddit will flip up whether it's a top comment or a hot comment, our criteria, it's kind of impossible to get the number one. That's what we're aiming for. But if it's at least in the first couple of most upvoted answers, I think that's a win. There's really no lose state. This is mostly just to shit on Redditors, i.e. me.
I love it. Okay. I'm on Ask Reddit. Are you on Ask Reddit?
I am on Ask Reddit.
Better than Ask Cash, of course.
Indeed.
Why don't you pick a post for us here? First of all, how are we sorting?
Actually, let's do top this week, maybe.
Top. Okay. We're sorting by top. There we go.
Oh, maybe's ripping farts. Amazing. Good job, maybe.
There are some really awful ones here. We're going to skip the top political one here.
Wow, these all suck.
I'm just going to read the questions here that we're skipping. How will you react if Joe Biden becomes president again? Pass.
How will you react if Donald Trump becomes president again?
Yeah. What trick did you learn from porn and it actually went well when attempting? That just doesn't seem fun.
In that thread, people who have not had sex.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this one, actually, I would be up for. What's the creepiest thing you've seen in broad daylight? That one I could be talking to. You want to go for that?
I think that it would be hard to guess, but if we simply use it as a jump-off point to talk about it, I think that, we can be loosey-goosey about the concept of the segment.
Sure.
If we just, answer Ask Reddit question. That's like the lowest tier of podcasting, but...
Well, okay. Let's try to play the game, since I don't want to abandon it quite as soon as we apparently
We're not abandoning it, but the nature of some of these questions, like the idea of guessing some of these things is because Redditors and the internet in general have like 5 jokes that they do. For like some of these more general ones, you can pretty guess like what the tops are going to be. For this one, this is like personal experience where somebody's going to write a long story that didn't happen. It's not like we're going to guess specifics from people's lives.
Oh, you know what? It's funny because when you read creepiest in this context, and maybe it's because we were just talking about this. I guess you could interpret it as like horror creepy, or you could interpret it as like this creep hit on me. And I was thinking it was the latter, but it's probably meant to be the former.
Yeah, I 100% read it as the former. My God.
Is it bad?
It's bad. It's bad. I am actually going to take her outside really quick because it's bad. All right. I will be back. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
All right. Well, everybody, while Leighton is defarting her apartment, which I guess now would be her apartment, right? That's what you call it when you fart in an apartment. You call it an apartment. I'm going to go on one of my little monologues. That's right, everybody. It's Brian's Corner. What do I want to talk about today? Here's what I want to talk about. I feel like lunch meat is getting too expensive. That's right. I was in the grocery store the other day and I was buying some turkey and I was like, how much turkey am I getting for $10? Feels like it's less than it used to be. And that's just not okay with me. I don't like that my dollar doesn't go as far as it did even 5 years ago. I feel like in general, stuff is getting too expensive, but I really noticed it the other day when it came to lunch meat. And look, I'm not buying the expensive stuff. I'm not buying the super premium stuff. I'm buying standard, run of the mill, boar's head turkey. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh la la, boar's head. Yeah. Okay, well, look, I do have some standards here. I'm not going to totally cheap out on this stuff. I recognize there are some cold cuts you can get that are really bottom of the barrel and very cheap. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about a standard mid-priced cold cuts. And by the way, this wasn't at like a Gelson's or an Erewhon or one of your bougie grocery stores like that. This was just at a normal Vons, okay? A normal Vons supermarket, which is your standard everyday supermarket. And even there, the prices were higher than I would have liked them to be. And, you know, the other thing is, of course, on a good sandwich, you don't want just one kind of lunch meat. If you really want a decent lunch sandwich, you can get two. A turkey and roast beef, now that's a good sandwich. You know what you do on that? Put that on a nice roll with some mayo, some fresh tomato, and some lettuce, maybe even some pickles if you're feeling saucy. That's a really good lunch sandwich. But, of course, due to the thing I mentioned before, where lunch meats are getting more and more expensive every day, you want turkey and roast beef, suddenly you're paying $20 for like a small amount of these things. That's going to last you maybe 3 sandwiches if you're lucky. And that's just not okay with me. I think this is the thing that's really wrong with America today, is that you don't get what you pay for anymore. You feel like it might be hard for you, all you young people listening to this, you Generation Zs, you millenniums, you don't understand the world in which I grew up, where, you know, gas was 2 cents a gallon and you could buy a carton, like a carton of eggs, you could get those, but it was like $1 for a dozen eggs, right? That's the world I grew up in. That's the way, and I don't like to say this, but I feel like that's the way it should be, where things were affordable, not as expensive as they are now. And specifically, of course, what I'm talking about in this case is cold cuts. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on a problem that's facing America today, probably the rest of the world as well. But you know what? Actually, I'll do a little investigative journalism when I go to Toronto. In a day, I will go to a grocery store, or as they call it, a supermarché up there, and I'll look at the prices of meats, and I'll report back, and I'll let you know if they're experiencing the same thing there that we are here. And yes, of course, I will convert the price from CAN to USD, because otherwise it wouldn't be totally fair. I recognize that, you know, you can't just look at the number. You got to convert the currency as well. This is another thing, actually, that you got to worry about. When you're converting a currency, you look at different websites and they give you different rates, right? Which is the right one? How are you supposed to know what your $1 Canadian is actually worth in USD? Why can't it just be one number? Why is it different everywhere you look? Do you trust Google? I don't know. I don't know who to trust anymore. And I think that is actually the main problem with society today, is that you really don't know who to trust anymore. But there's one person, actually there's 2 people, dear listener, that you can trust. And that's your old pal Brian and his friend Leighton. You can trust Late Night with Brian Wecht. This is what we call here the no spin zone. We're going to give it to you raw, and we're going to give it to you frequently, and we're going to give it you the whole truth. And when you tune into Late Night with Brian Wecht, listener, what you're going to get is you're going to get things as they actually are, not things as they might be. And that's Brian's Corner. Now, when I started this, I was kind of hoping Leighton would be away for maybe 30 seconds. It's been several minutes at this point. She's still not back. Oh, no. Oh, no. What if on her way to the door, the dog farts were so bad that she fell unconscious? and she's just lying in front of her door with maybe standing on her back triumphantly, having farted her into unconsciousness. Theoretically possible. Let's hope that's not the case. I'm going to give her a few minutes here, and then I'm going to call 911. How's your dog fart situation?
She pretended to poop and then used that as a ruse to bark at the landscaper next door. I really tried to get it out of her, but no. I have these like melatonin treats for her that smell really bad, and I gave her one before we started recording, and that seems to be a common theme. So I think that they just give her rank farts. So I'm just going to have to suffer with it.
Oh, that's a good segment idea. Rank farts. You can find the 20 fartiest farts in TV history and rank them. Fart.
Yeah. I thought you meant like real life in terms of ranking your farts.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you quantify that?
I mean, I can think of my rankest of the rank, which was I was like 9, and there was a Mexican restaurant that I really loved right next to a GameStop that I also really loved, and I demolished some nachos. And then as I was looking at the Nintendo DS new releases, it's the same sort of thing where like I'm shocked at the things that come out of maybe, but the one that I ripped on that night in a mostly empty GameStop was like, it went through a journey. Wow. It was, I think, the longest part of my life. So
wow,
it stands out in my head.
Congratulations.
I love that we started this episode of me complaining about being hit on, and now I'm like, 20 years ago, I really ripped it.
Leighton Gray's top 5 nastiest farts.
Yeah. Where's your soundboard?
It's right here. Now let me push a button. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ew. Right. That was a good one. Are we going to do this? I feel like we talked about it, so we kind of have to do it with Family Fredit, right?
That's a great attitude to have, Brian.
We should do at least one. At least one.
Well, I was going to ask you, what's the creepiest thing you've seen in broad daylight? We can either guess the answers to a question, or we can just answer it personally. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. Creepy as in like unsettling, right?
Yeah. I can go first if you need a minute.
Yes, please. Sure. Yeah, because I'm having a hard time coming up with something.
As I was mentally willing my dog to shit outside in that little break that we just took, I thought about it, and I think what I think of is there was a really big, I want to say it was Hurricane Charlie, came through North Carolina when I was a kid, and it's always very fun to go outside and watch the hurricane. Like, we used to go to the beach to watch it come in because the waves would be crazy. This was just at home, and there was a tree that, I had kind of like watched grow into a bigger tree as I grew up. And the wind, my favorite part was always when the wind was strong enough that you could fall back on it and it would hold you up. It was one of those kinds of days, but I was looking at that tree and I watched it snap in half totally.
Oh, shit. That's
and that was a very creepy, surreal moment that it sticks out in my mind 20 years later or whatever. So
I'm hard pressed to think of anything. I wouldn't call this creepy, but it was, similarly surreal when we were recording in Texas earlier this year. Jim Roach and I were driving along a long stretch of highway, and suddenly out of nowhere, we got hit with a crazy dust storm. Oh. And it was just like, blam, can't see anything. Like one of those things where you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Now, is that creepy? Not quite in the same way, but it was definitely like, I do not like this feeling of, I just can't see anything. And I'm going to stop driving. And I hope that the people behind me have the same instinct.
Yeah. All right. That counts.
Great stories.
All of these are about sex. What are some unwritten, unspoken rules of sex? What is some cringe shit you did the first time you attempted to have sex?
Wait, where are you? I'm not seeing these at all. How are you?
What seemingly innocuous thing is guaranteed to make you super horny? Yeah, I'm just like scrolling further. What was a total game changer in your sex life? Like, all of these are sex related if you scroll like a good bit.
These are boring.
They are.
Okay, this segment. All right.
Canceled. Family failure.
Canceled segment. All right. Well, I guess there's a reason we don't do this one more often.
Yeah. That was useless. That was completely useless. Yeah. Spam a lot, which I think would be similarly useless.
No. We're gonna try it. I haven't looked at my spam folder in a long time.
Your spam folder?
So
is that like Ann Coulter?
Let's see. What's in the news?
Sorry, I just gotta. Oh, hell yeah. Oh.
What is this good?
Oh no, it's good. It's totally good.
Okay, here's a little porny spam subject line.
Okay.
Well, first of all, let's play the Spamalot theme song here. Hark, fellow travelers, and welcome to the bit known as Spamalot. Subject line. I am ready to hang out with you if you have a great personality. Heart eye emoji, heart emoji. And there's a big red thing that says, this message seems dangerous from Google. It says, my name is Hannah. Talk with me on the dating website if you desire to be in a relationship that would make you happy. You will like to join here for me. And then there's a .ru website.
Sus. I'm looking through mine as well. Okay.
Yeah.
The few times that I check Twitter, my notifications are totally filled with, I'm looking for a guy that I can share a deep conversation with. Like, that's the only notification that I get.
I've seen a bunch of these tagging me or NSP. Yeah. With exactly this. Yeah.
Deeply irritating.
There's a new, I haven't seen these before, a bunch of emails from, it's like emoji thing and then another emoji. Here, heart eye emoji. You will like to be my guy, and that's why you should join me online. You should join me online. Hearts emoji. Heart with an arrow through it emoji. Let me welcome you to a great dating website. Find the local woman of your dreams. Purple heart emoji and envelope with a heart emoji. You're going to like me as your woman when you sign up and match with me online.
I have one. Subject line, happening now. Can I show my ass?
Yes. Oh, I like that a lot. That's really great. Yeah.
Happening now. I'm Sarah for you always.
Mm-hmm.
Can I show you? It's just an email and the name of the account is Can I Show My Pussy, period.
Mm-hmm.
Happening now. Can I show my pussy?
I like that. That's a good one. Wow, there's some spam. I should have been looking at this before. There's actually emails in here I wanted to get.
Oh, like Lisa showing her pussy, etc.
Yeah, I've been trying to sign up for that list for a while. Unfortunately, it never really seems to.
Happening now. Please send me photos of my ass and puss.
Puss. P-U-S-S.
Yeah.
Okay. What is a .edu.tr from quote unquote Laura Sullivan, who's sending me a bunch of links. And here's one that just says from Laura Sullivan. And the email says, should have forwarded that photograph to you sooner. But anyway, I hope you still remember those guys. Crazy looking fucking link. Sincerely yours, Laura Sullivan. Who is Laura Sullivan?
Fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I've exhausted my good spam. Oh, wait, never mind. I've got offers from Car Shield and Obamacare.
Nice.
4 foods that trigger dementia.
Cool. Give them all to me right now.
I'll eat all of them together. That would be a fun chopped basket.
Oh, yeah.
Or just any ailment. Like, here's a basket that's only gluten. And our panelists are all gluten intolerant.
I like that a lot. Let's see who you can make the sickest the fastest. Yeah.
Yeah. You win if you kill a judge.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, that was Spamalot. Great. What? No wonder we don't fucking do these more. Like, this is...
Yeah, terrible angle. I feel like if you had not introduced us doing a gimmick, this would just already be a better episode. So good job really tanking the energy. And great job to my dog for farting.
Yeah.
It's been a stressful week. And as we discussed on the mini, I believe it's just the series of inconveniences and they keep stacking. And I need it to not. For my sanity, so I don't lose my shit, I need it to not. I need like a little W, please.
Yeah, same.
I guess I did get a W in my inbox just now, but I suppressed it.
Well, I want to hear about this W.
I'm not talking about the W on the show.
Okay. Well, what should we do now? We could move on to segments. I do have a bit of a time
You do
crunch
have
today.
a heart out. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, you know how you make a heart out. Layton, you know how you make a heart out, right? Layton, do you know how you make a heart out? I can't move on until you ask me how.
You ready to do segments, Brian?
You take a soft out and you just rub it a little.
That's a worse rubbing motion than you've done in the past, and I really don't like it.
I know. I was just thinking about it.
It's really unsettling. Ew.
Look at it, because there's
Stop
a lot
it.
going on here.
Stop it.
What's happening in the front and the back?
I'm going to take a Post-it, and I'm
This
going
is
to
a
put
good
it
one.
and I'm going to put it over my monitor so I don't have to see this anymore.
I'll stop
Here.
doing it.
Oh, but I already put the Post-it up. No. I'll put another one. I'll move it. No.
Now I'm doing it on the other side.
Stop.
Oh, look. I can get it under here, too. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
No.
Now it's in front of the mic.
No,
If
hold
you do
on.
it
Keep
this
doing
way, it's a lot worse.
it. It really is.
Or do you want me to do it over here? Here, I'll tilt it towards you.
Okay, great. Well, at least I got a picture of it. Horrible.
And also with the shadow from my hat makes me look like an extra creeper. That's right. I just sit in the bushes and I make that motion outside libraries.
Yeah. You're not actually doing anything. You're just making the motion, which is very not good.
Can we ask that guy to stop doing that? Legally, he's within his rights. We actually can't. That's not an obscene gesture. It's just his whole vibe.
My vibe is generally obscene. All right. Introduce your segment. My self-esteem about this episode has completely and totally tanked.
Why?
Which I guess is a good thing, podcasting.
This is a good episode. No, it means anything's possible. Right?
Yes.
Okay, my first segment today. Now, Layton, in the life of this show, we've had many segments, some better than others, but there's two, you see, that recur pretty much every week. Not every week, but pretty much every week. It's the first segment that I'm specifically interested in today. So this segment started in episode 3, and it's gone through various iterations. You know, the show is 4 years old at this point.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy. So this segment is it's past infancy, it's past early childhood, it's barely even a toddler anymore. It's in preschool. And it's appropriate because this is where we get to talk about the things that we view with childlike wonder, that we view, as our favorite stuff from week to week. And I'm historically not known for belaboring this introduction, so I want to get right to this segment. The segment is called What's Poppin'? And the theme song goes here.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Great. So, Layton, what's poppin'?
Well, what's poppin' for me is that I really had to cast around for a poppin' because I have already recommended multiple dreading videos, and that's been my primary new media consumption. And then there was an album that I wanted to pop that I cannot justify. It would be a what's poppin' for me, but I don't want to pop because I don't recommend that people listen to it because by a band that is so thoroughly canceled, and this particular album was it's a great.
Give us a
album that I love.
hint. Give us just a hint.
No.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I don't want to do that one. So I will recommend one of my longtime
Game
favorite
designers
artists.
listen to cancel artists. Man, I really blew the delivery of that. That was, I fucked it up. Sorry, there's a lot going on here today.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, I'm going to actually pop Glass Animals, who are a great band. I've been listening to them since their first album, Zaba, which is great. Mm-hmm. But they really came into their own with How to Be a Human Being, which is like a really fun sort of concept album where like each song is about a different fictional person, and like that is front to back amazing. And then more recently they put out an album, Dreamland, which I think has gotten really big on TikTok, especially the song Heat Waves. You know, I don't listen to lyrics, but they're very like nonsensical lyrics, especially on Zaba. It's like, what is this guy talking about?
What a shock that the album entitled Zaba would have nonsensical lyrics.
Yeah. There's a performance of one of their songs that has a lyric about lightning, and it's raining at the theater, and the lightning strikes right as he's singing that line. And also he's just like drenched in water, and all of the stagehands are trying to get like...
Is it The Other Side of Paradise?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you. That song is awesome. So yeah, that is what's popping for me is Glass Animals, because they're one of my most listened to artists. What is popping for you, Brian?
Well, what I'd like to pop about this week is now look, this may be the most basic thing I've ever popped in my history of popping things. One of my comedy heroes is Andy Breckman, who I regard as one of the funniest voices in comedy as a writer. I've talked about him on the show before. He co-hosts the WFMU show 7 Second Delay, and I just love this guy's sense of humor. He is best known to the world as the creator of the TV show Monk, a detective show starring Tony Shalhoub. And what's popping for me this week is they just put out a Monk movie, Mr. Monk's Last Case. And
wow.
Is it great? No. Did I really enjoy watching it because I love Tony Shalhoub? Yes. There's some good bits in there. There's some funny stuff. There's some pretty lowest common denominator humor, but it's amazing what like a really strong cast can do with also good writing. Like,
okay.
Andy Breckman is a comedy pro. You know, he's very, very funny. And there are some really, really good bits in this, in addition to some maybe less good bits. But I had a great time watching it. Rachel had a great time watching it. And it's also like, it's Tony Shalhoub. You cannot go wrong with Tony Shalhoub. The guy is awesome in everything. You also got Ted Levine back, who the moment the guy talks about anything, the only thing you can hear is, it puts the fucking lotion in the basket. You know, the moment he says anything, that's the only thing I can ever hear. But still, he's great. A lot of the regulars from the series are back, and I just thought it was a very cute movie.
How long ago did Monk end?
It's been a while. I mean...
like a decade, maybe?
Yeah, like a decade, probably. It's been a long time, yeah. When was the last? Let's look that up. Monk.
I'm guessing 2013 is my guess.
TV show. It ended in 2009.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
shit. A single ought.
There was an interview with Andy Breckman on, I think, GQ or something that I read, because I'll read anything with Andy Breckman. And they said, tell us something we might not know about Tony Shalhoub. And Andy Breckman said, he hunts other humans for sport. That's something that might surprise you. Always good to throw those bits in. Anyway, that's what's popping for me.
Awesome. Well, that's what's popping for both of us. Now it's time for our final segment, which is 3 parts gratitude exercise, 1 part petty grousing. The shit. So close to give me another 200 episodes.
I know, you'll get it someday.
The name of this segment is Peaches and Lemons, and the theme song for that segment, which is called Peaches and Lemons, goes right here.
Peaches and Lemons. Peaches and Lemons.
Amazing.
Wow. We'll each start with a lemon, which is a thing that's a minor bummer or annoyance. I'll go. My lemon was going to be the Lyft driver thing, because that sucks.
Mm-hmm. But you guys are in a committed relationship now.
Yeah, you know, I was really charmed by the man I was alone in a car with late at night. It really, just something about it. Our fucking trash cans got stolen again.
Oh, no. Again? What?
Again. We have one.
That sucks.
We have a single can, and I have a lot of trash. So please stop. We spray painted our address on the cans, and still, it's amazing. So
yeah,
that's great.
Oh, well.
How about you? What's your lemon?
My lemon is my house is overtaken with boxes for the new NSP album, and they were
Even
supposed
more
to come.
so than it already was?
No, it is the same level of overtaken with boxes, but they were supposed to be out the door today, and then the pallet driver was running 2 hours late, and that cut into our recording and also me having to pick up Audrey from school, so I had to reschedule it. And it's just like, I just want these fucking boxes out of my house. I don't want to get into this too much. They're also a reminder of the fuckery with this merch company, which I've had to live with every single day. And I just want them out of my home because they are now signed and now they move on to Dan's home. But the pallet driver was not around today to ship them. So
How long did it take you to sign that batch?
weeks. It's always a long time. Vinyl, actually, this is our first time doing like a big vinyl thing. And so what we're doing now is we get the sleeves to sign, then we send them back to get packaged. But you can only fit like 50 vinyl in a box. And it is just very time consuming to take it out, sign it, take it. They're just big and unwieldy. So signing vinyl takes a long time.
And silver Sharpie, right?
Mixed colors, silver, golden, brown. Yeah.
Okay. All of the ones that dry out in 2 seconds or just come out of the package already dry.
I found a mild hack, which is get the thick Sharpies, and they tend to work better.
Oh, that is smart. Okay. Yeah, how are they fucking those up so bad? They're really...
Oh my God.
I've never used a good one.
I went to Staples to get some, and I asked the checkout person, I was like, hey, these often don't work. Can I return them? And she's like, have you tried tapping them? And I was like, yeah, I've tried tapping. She was trying to be very helpful, to be fair. But at the same time, I was like, you have no idea how much experience I have with Sharpies. And it's, for a while, the Bic colored metallic pens were great, but then we discovered they do rub off easier, like in transport. So we can't use those anymore. And also they're harder to find. Anyway, it's a tough life.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
But I manage. Now we have to reschedule the pallet thing, which now is harder because I'm not going to be around because I'll be away. So we have to figure it. There's a lot going on.
Mild inconveniences that
That's what it is.
make your muscles taut.
Yep.
All right, time for peaches. I will start just because I guess I always do that. My first one, doing makeup more. I missed doing it. I've been doing eyeshadow looks. I don't have one on right now, but it's nice. It's a nice ritual. I enjoy doing it. The past 4 years, it's been only if I am on a call. But no, I'm just kind of doing it to do it. And that's nice.
Great. Love it.
Second peach is obviously getting dinner with Mika. That was great. That was a treat. These are not interesting peaches, but regardless.
They don't need to be interesting. They're things that make you happy.
Yes, it's true. It was really great. I had a great time. And then my third peach is that ever since the 2.0 update.
Your third peach.
God. The 2.0, the 2.0 update of Cyberpunk, I got to play it in some of the DLC a bit, and then they updated to 2.1, and that broke all of my mods again. And because this week has been so stressful, this weekend I was like, well, I'm gonna fix all of my mods and I'll play Cyberpunk, and that turned into me spending 10 hours fixing mods, as I already told you. And I've probably played the game for actually played it for 10 minutes, but I'm mostly back now. And I think that barring any, acts of God, I should be able to play that video game that I'm obsessed with. So we are so back.
I agree with you. Good.
And that's my third peach. Thank you.
That's
Thanks.
awesome.
I'm stoked. What are your peaches?
My peaches. Peach number 1. Audrey and Rachel were shopping this weekend for clothes, and Audrey bought herself, or Rachel bought for her, but Audrey picked out some Minecraft pajamas.
Oh my God, yes.
Audrey is wearing Minecraft pajamas while playing Minecraft, and she hasn't worn shirt and pants pajamas in a very long time, nor for many years now. It's been nightgown kind of stuff. And she looks so fucking cute in these Minecraft PJs. She woke me up the other day and was just talking about Minecraft. Oh, I love it so much.
Wow.
We don't have that many more years of little kiddom left. Yeah. And every time she does something cute and tiny, I love it so much. Peach number 2 is I am in the middle of rehearsing and learning the songs for the cover album. And I thought it was going to take a long fucking time. There's a lot of piano heavy stuff, but it's actually going really, really fast.
Wow.
I decided to do Daddy a favor. And normally I have this thing where I don't want to look up chords or sheet music. I just want to do the ear training and figure it out. But this time I was like, you know what? I don't have time. I'm just going to look it up and then, trust but verify, Layden. Most chord sites on the internet are apparently written by people who have never heard music before. And you just can't trust anything. They think they say it's one chord. It's clearly not, you like play along with the song and you're like, what? That's not the chord. There's no way. Or it's notated weird because it's like some guitar player who thinks they understand music theory, but they don't. They just know the shape of a hand. So you have to be very, very careful with chord websites. But there are a couple because they're very piano heavy. I was able to find some pretty good sheet music, which is not too far.
Okay.
So it's actually made that easier.
If you're doing it by ear training, how long does it normally take you for one song?
It really varies. Like usually not that long, but occasionally there's always some like weird chord in the middle where I'm like, what's going on there? And then it's a question of like, is it a chord with a weird bass note or, do you actually care about that? Are we going to do that on the cover? I think these things matter a lot. Personally, they really do change the sound of a song. Like the inversion of a chord can change the sound of a song, right? Depending on how it interacts with the melody and the bass and everything. And some of these are important to get right and some of them aren't. And it's kind of a just artistic call for each one, what you're going to decide to care about or maybe even change on purpose. So it varies. Like a typical, pop song won't take very long. They're usually not that complicated. But sometimes, if we're doing like a more piano-y one with some more interesting chords, that can take a while to like suss out. Because, think about like a Queen song, for example.
Yeah.
And we are actually not covering Queen on this album. I'm just using that as an example. But there's like interesting piano shit happening.
Yeah.
There are, as I like to call them, real chords in those songs as opposed to just triads. So,
okay.
So it's been nice. It's been pretty easy. While I was waiting for this fucking palette, to show up. I was just sitting at the piano playing chords. And my final peach is on my trip out to and back from Boston. My flights were on time departing and early arriving. And for neither one did I just have to sit on the runway. They landed early, in some like 45 minutes early on both, and we just pulled right up to the gate and got off the plane.
That's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Earlier this year, and I mentioned this on the show, with Audrey, I had abhorrent travel luck, just the worst. And it was nice. I wish this had happened with her, but this was like just easy, breezy, cover girl.
Beautiful cover
traveling.
Girl.
Yeah, that's right. So that's my final peach. 2 easy travel days.
That's
which
great.
Is also what I call my testicles. There it is.
You tried.
I had to get it in before the end of the show. Like,
also a thing that you say about your balls frequently.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Then I say I have to get them on. Is usually and it's blank.
Right.
Now, Layden, I don't know how much you've hung out with
balls.
People with testicles. Yeah, with balls. But there's a thing some people do, which I've never understood, which is the try to show someone your balls thing. Do you know about this?
Oh, I'm familiar.
I've never understood this.
I've borne witness to this.
Yeah. Hey, check out my genitals is not a thing I've ever thought. Just kind of hanging out with friends.
No, but
this is what I'd like someone to be looking at right now.
Yeah.
A body part that,
It's picking the worst body part to put on display. It's pretty unfortunate.
I agree. I don't like it. But yet some people think it's very funny. And
yep.
That's what some people have said about this show. I don't like it, but some people think it's very funny.
I think the some people part is also questionable.
Yeah, maybe presumptuous.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening to this show, everyone. It is
high-octane podcasting.
High-octane podcasting, in a great mood, just crushing it, being flirty, fun, and fresh on this.
Well, that's why you got hit on by that Lyft driver, is you were being too flirty.
My dog ripped
that exactly that vibe. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of flirtatious come at me vibe.
My dog ripped a fart at the same time as you said that inflammatory statement. And that just felt really appropriate. Like, you guys have a mind meld where every time you say something horrible, she rips one. And I assume that applies when we're not recording too. Like, maybe can pick up on your psychic energy of, oh, Brian just said something horrible.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let loose.
While she was staying with us, I did install a little thing in her brain. I can just push a button and make her fart.
Wow, it's like your soundboard at a distance.
Yeah, given the size of that brain, it wasn't hard to find
That's most
a place
of
to put it. Yeah,
it's like golf ball sized in there, so
look how fucking stupid that
I
idiot
know,
is.
she's so dumb.
She's so dumb.
She's the greatest. When I took her outside to try to get her to shit out of her butt, like, she knows how to fake like she's shitting so she gets more time to sniff stuff. It's kind of incredible. Oh,
It's kind
what's
of
that?
incredible.
What is it?
All right, everybody.
Chilling. All right, thanks to everybody. Hope you're doing well. Don't hit on women who are in your car alone late at night. Don't do that.
That's good advice.
The only
Okay, yeah, say it. Say it. No, do it. You started it. You have to do it.
No, it isn't a coherent thought.
That's fine. Just say it.
I said late
The
at
only-
night, and you only hit on people in late
On
at
late
night,
night,
which
yeah.
is worse. Which is worse. So
That's right. Great. All right. Bye, everybody.
see you next week. Goodbye.
Leighton Night is produced by Brian Wecht, Leighton Gray, and Jarek Centeno. Follow us on Twitter at Leighton Night, on Instagram at Leighton_Night, or email us at leightonnight@gmail.com.